Well, another episode of Spy X Family has just come out, and this one seems to be just as interesting as the last one, if not even more so. First of all, in the most interesting twist of fate, is the fact that this episode typically focuses on Anya's school life. And we learn a few interesting things about her as well. For example, our friend watches, I think, teens as adult dramas, and then she develops a crush on Lloyd, thinking him to be very handsome. Also at the same time, Anya tries to, once again, make friends with her target. However, it doesn't go quite according to plan, as she tries to this time show him his dog, or her dog rather, and it doesn't go well. Pretty much she drops the photograph, and then her friend picks it up, sees Lloyd and goes, ooh! And that plan sort of backfires. And then, second sight at his two friends, they sort of just go like, what are those two being so silly about? I'm still full of cold. Anyway, another thing that also became particularly hilarious, I think, was just the fact that Anya, or rather the school principal, once again appeared and started doing some very funny stuff as usual, started basically quoting the lines he did as before in his usual over-the-top manner, which was absolutely hilarious. I think it's the fact of him taking over a class, as sometimes you do, and then being over-dramatic and over-the-top as usual in the anime comedic way was pretty funny as well. I think the other interesting thing about the episode, I think, was also just the fact of Damien's family relationship. He doesn't really get on well with his father, or his father doesn't seem to... He wants to basically get his father's attention, but he can't seem to do it. Which is a shame, because he certainly does have a good try. He makes, a plastic or paper griffin. Has it all planned out. Anya's busy making, I think basically what was meant to be a dog, and doing it sort of like a 6-year-old manner, as a typical 6-year-old would. Meanwhile, everyone else, I think, just makes their own craft projects, and for the most of them, it's just pretty much just a sort of a paper model just folded over, basically, with some coloured paper. And then they end up making sort of like out of bits and pieces, of sort of like a scrap griffin, and then the garbage dog. And apparently, instead of being denoted, it stirs the heart of the inspectors because of all the Ostanya's troubles, and that was quite funny, to say the least, as well. I think the other thing that was just funny about the whole episode, I think, was just the fact that was Black Belt, just say the fact of, actually humans are animals, and the principal going, oh, she has me, she got me there, that was very correct. It is over the top manner, that was quite funny. I think the other thing that was also rather interesting was the fact that, of how the handler goes around doing her business, so she pretty much follows and walk home. She can know for a fact that she's up to something, but Stanley can't quite prove it, or doesn't quite know what she does. Or then in fact she goes to a public pool, and then they think, so her tail goes, two people following me, but shit them, so she dons a disguise, and literally walks out right past them, all they're standing there going like reminiscing about funny stuff, and then she slips clean through their fingers. Of course she meets with Twilight, and that doesn't go according to plan, and then she and Twilight meet up a second time, and it's almost rather funny. But because of the fact of what Twilight reveals about the operation. Basically, Lloyd's says some of the achievements that Anya has done, and her instructor and his handler goes, what is he going on about? It's supposed to be a report on the mission. One thing I wish, though, was the fact we got some more of Yor in this episode. I think Yor is quite possibly the best character out of the entire show. She is funny and just in general absolutely hilarious when she does something. It just goes like, just how physically capable she is. And the fact that, okay, granted we did have a Yor-centric episode last time with her deadly cooking, but that's besides the point. I want to see more of her. I wish the fact of all the three main characters, we should see, I think, all of them in equal measure. Yes, I'm still full of cold. So we're doing this? Well, I think I might as well do it anyway. Whew. I hate having a cold. Anyway, back onto the subject matter at hand. I just wish there was more of Yor in this episode. But nonetheless, I think I'm glad to be back at the school. I'm glad to see... And we also learned a bit about Damien, namely the fact his father doesn't really like him all that much, or he doesn't feel like his father gives him enough attention, which is the reason why he does achieve so hard. And I think the reason why I wanted to make the perfect groom was the fact his father would go like, ooh, that's perfect. And then also, well done, my son, well done. And sort of give him acknowledgement over his other children, which is part of the reason why he wants to achieve so well in school, so he can get his father's attention. That in itself is very interesting. It's also very interesting the fact about the way the handler's mindset. She says the fact if you show weakness, you don't survive in this world. And if we assume the fact of her age is right and what she did, she developed that mindset in the war, and quite probably saw a lot of horrific things there. And we also learned a couple of things about Twilight, like why he does it. It's all because of the fact he wants to preserve the peace between East and West and preventing another war. That in itself was very good as well. I'm liking the show more and more as it goes on. And this episode is quite done. There was not much action, which I think was great. There was some comedy, like anime comedy, which was good. But there could have been a little bit more of it, and it should have really focused more on the characters themselves, like the main trio, rather than, say, on the side characters. But all the characters do this time in the spotlight, I guess. It was nice to see, and on the whole, very good, and very well done concerning what's been going on as of late. I wish there was more of the rest of the family shown in the episode, rather than just an Anya/Lloyd-centric one, but I suppose that's what you get when it comes to that sort of show. And given the fact that it's been a while since we've gone back to the school and done a school-centric episode. So, okay, I get that as well. It'd just be nice to see more of it. Well, I'm the Universe for Challenger signing off. I'll see you please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheerio!